Speaker, congratulations on your new position, and I also like to congratulate the new Speaker on his ascendancy to high office. I think if experience of disrupting the proceedings of this House a prerequisite, then I'm sure he's very qualified. Madam Deputy Speaker, I acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which this parliament meets. The first thing I'd like to do as a new member of this parliament is thank the people of Baldivis who put me here. Thank you to the electorate of Baldivis for your faith and trust. It's my job to work as hard as I possibly can to serve your interests. I'm thrilled to be part of such a wonderful community and to do my bit to make it an even better place to live. Now, in a moment, I'll detail the great qualities and promises and challenges that face this growing electorate. But, Madam Deputy Speaker, my journey here has been long. Almost 9 years and 3 state elections. But it goes back further than that, to my earliest memory of politics, in the lounge room of my parents' Housing Commission home in Belga on a warm December evening in 1972, as I watched Gough Whitlam's election as Prime Minister on a black and white television. Even as an 8-year-old, I could tell change was in the air in Wardlow Way that night. Change, potential and hope. That awareness of the potential of politics for positive change has stayed with me ever since. And it's helped steer me towards this moment, ready to represent one of the fastest growing urban communities in Australia. I want to thank the many people who contributed so much time, energy and passion to the Baldivis campaign. In particular, my campaign director, Paul Papalia, and campaign manager, Karina Graham, who constantly reminded me that it was the candidate's job to shut up and do as you're told. Thank you to Federal Member for Brand Madeleine King, Sonia Morton, Dragona Flynn, Mark Foote, Robert Nikolic, Alana Wilson, Linda Gordon, Barry Wilders, John and Peggy Cotter and Owen Farmer, and all the members of the Baldivis, Rockingham, Warnbro and Kwinana branches of the Australian Labor Party. I only wish I had the time to name you all. Thank you, supporters and friends from both sides of politics who worked so generously to help achieve our victory. Thank you to Patrick Gorman and Linda O'Shalem and all the hard-working team at Party Office. To quote one of my far from generous former colleagues of the Fifth Estate, it wasn't Jeff, I was the 2-time loser, 3rd time lucky. So may I also take a moment to thank some of those who helped me in earlier campaigns. Fred Ward, a life member of the Australian Labor Party, Glenn Bennett, Ron Arachi, Charlie McGettigan, Fran Hickling and all the Morley mob, thank you too. If ever you need reminding of the basic decency at the core of the Australian Labor Party, look no further than these people. Everyday members and supporters, Western Australians who believe in our state, its people and its future. I also want to thank my old boss and colleagues at the office of the Leader of the Opposition. I'm happy to say they are still my boss and colleagues, though with more impressive titles. Mark McGowan, Guy Houston, Joe Gaines, Daniel Pastorelli and Jamie McDonald, to name too few of this hard-working and committed bunch. Thank you to my friends and supporters in the union movement. I joined the union representing my craft at 18 and was a member for more than 30 years. I know the union movement is a force for good in our community, with its key role making our state and nation a fairer and more compassionate society. Now, normally members acknowledge the contribution of the member they replace, but in my case, there isn't one. I can, however, thank those members who have ably represented parts of this new electorate. The members of Kwinana, Warnbro and Rockingham all did their bit serving parts of the electorate over many years, and they'll be a tough act to follow. Baldivis is a new seat created by the sheer force of growth. It's an inevitability of democracy. Unlike the other place, its creation was a response to the requirement for fair and balanced representation. The electorate takes its name from 3 ships which delivered group settlers from the United Kingdom to the district in the 1920s, the Balranald, Diogenes and Jervis Bay, though there is some conjecture amongst local historians that the second ship might have been the Bendigo. Not long ago, Baldivis was little more than small rural holdings and horse properties. Today, our newest state electorate is a thriving string of fresh new suburbs. From Bertram, tucked under Thomas Road in the north, down through the village community of Wellard and south to an ever-expanding and vibrant Baldivis. To the east, there's parts of established Leader, Coolangup or Woodbridge and Waikiki. The people of the Baldivis electorate are hard-working and aspirational. They're not afraid of having a go to get ahead. Many have come from around the world, from the United Kingdom, New Zealand, India, South Africa, the Philippines and dozens of other countries. They bring with them a rich diversity of culture and experience. The electorate of Baldivis is also home to many defence personnel and their families who serve at HMAS Stirling or on ships home ported there. It's not for nothing Baldivis is referred to as Nappy Valley, with a large proportion of young families with young kids. The people of Baldivis value education and the role it plays in securing a future for their children. The provision of schools and the maintenance of a quality education is a key issue for our community. Quality infrastructure, including public transport and roads, is also crucial. Sitting for hours in traffic each week has a major impact on quality of life. I'm grateful to see this issue being addressed by the new McGowan Labor government. I look forward to seeing completion of the $49 million widening of the Kwinana Freeway northbound lanes between Russell Road and Roe Highway. There are other infrastructure concerns. In 2017, mobile phone coverage and the internet are as necessary a utility as power and water. Yet parts of the Baldivis electorate suffer mobile and internet connections worse than some third world nations. This has a huge impact on local businesses and families. While a federal issue, it is a local priority and this must be fixed. Like communities across our state, the Baldivis electorate is not immune to other challenges. Unemployment has many families struggling to cope, and we have a higher than average rate of mortgage repossession. The curse of meth addiction is not unknown to us, nor is the often linked issue of mental health. These are challenges that touch every corner of our state. I know our new government is committed to tackling them, but the future for Baldivis is one of hope and opportunity. We have so much: aspirational families, bright young kids, professionals and business owners prepared to have a go, hard-working families and community-minded residents. Baldivis can and should play its part in the creation of a more diverse West Australian economy with new jobs close to where people live. Development and growth balanced with the conservation of a rich natural environment of native bushland and open spaces. A new suburb with challenges and opportunities is something I grew up with. I was raised in Balga in the early 70s at the very edge of Perth. I know about the challenges of transport, schools, hospitals, healthcare and sporting and community facilities, social connection and engagement. I went to school at North Balga Primary and Greenwood High. I know the importance of a good education, no matter where you live or which school you go to. I know that a decent education can help a boy from Balga achieve his ambition of becoming a journalist, a career that began at the South Western Times newspaper in Bunbury, to the ABC, Channel 9, and finally a 20-year stint in the newsroom at Channel 7. A great place with great people and a great culture. My parents, Ray and Lynn Whitby, had a wholesale and retail business and at one stage even a Fremantle pub. I know the challenges facing the self-employed and small business owners who work hard, employ staff and take on risk for reward. I got my political education around the kitchen table of my grandparents' East Victoria Park home. My grandfather, Bill Whitby, was old school working class. His Labor represented the sensible centre. Fair pay, fair conditions, fair go, and opportunity for all. If you need a hand, you should get it. If you work hard and succeed, good on you. These are my core beliefs today. Social demographics have shifted since my grandfather's day. The nature of work is changing, blue-collar jobs are giving way to white, service industries are expanding, more workers are self-employed or contractors, fewer West Australians belong to a union. The challenge for our party today is to keep pursuing progress, especially for those who need it most, while holding the middle ground. This is not a repudiation of where we've come from, it's the reality of where we are. A fair go for all has lifted many sons and daughters of the working class into the middle class and professionalism. We should embrace this constituency because with their support we are better able to assist those on low incomes who face the greatest personal and financial challenges. I believe in the common decency of West Australians who genuinely want to see battlers get ahead. I believe the last thing Western Australia wants to see is the American disease of a shrinking middle class and a growing army of working poor. Post-war prosperity was fuelled by a growing middle class, not a shrinking one. I don't believe there's a better place on earth than Western Australia, both for what we are and for what we can be. I believe Western Australia's future is playing a greater role in the life of our nation. I reject notions of secession. I'm a Republican and believe in gentle, evolutionary transition rather than jarring revolutionary change. I see an Australian Republic as inevitable for a modern, advanced, progressive state and nation. I respect and admire the Queen. I think the latest generation of royals are doing a fine job. But I hope there will one day come a time in my lifetime when Western Australia will proudly become part of the Republic of Australia with our very own Australian head of state, perhaps even a West Australian. I was there on a wintry night at the Hellenic Club in Northbridge 25 years ago this month, when the Malcolm Turnbull-chaired Australian Republican movement held its first meeting in WA. Let's continue the conversation. To like-minded members across the aisle, I look forward to an opportunity for bipartisanship. Jobs, the economy, education, health, transport and community safety should always take priority. But it is possible to walk and chew gum at the same time. And the symbols and potential of our state and nation are important, both to us and the rest of the world. Finally, I want to thank those closest to me who are crowding the gallery today. Just over a year ago, I considered walking away from politics. My youngest daughter, Hope, was diagnosed with an extremely rare autoimmune condition called juvenile dermatomyositis. It affects just a couple of children per million each year. Most doctors will never see a case in their entire career. Starting with a sore knee, Hope couldn't lift her legs when she was... Excuse me. When she was diagnosed by the incredible doctors at Princess Margaret Children's Hospital. No one knows what causes juvenile dermatomyositis. We do know it results in severe and widespread muscle weakness, leaving children unable to walk or move. Feeding, swallowing, even breathing can be affected. Thankfully, symptoms can be treated with modern medications, and the impact on Hope has been mild and limited. But at that moment, when you are told your child is facing a disease like that, nothing else matters. I decided nothing else did matter. Hope's health was our family's only priority. I would resign as a candidate and devote myself to Hope and our family. But my wife convinced me to continue. Together we would share the burden. Together we would find the strength and our family would make it through. Hope is 9 now and nothing slows her down. She takes her tablets every morning and gets regular checks at PMH. She plays basketball, hockey and can boot a footy further than most boys her age. Natalie and I will forever be grateful to the amazing, world-best doctors and medical staff at PMH. They only serve to remind us of the vital importance of a strong public health system. I'd like to mention my parents, Ray and Lynn Whitby, who taught me the importance of hard work and having a go. Dad left Kent Street High at 15 and joined the Navy. In 1958, he was one of the first to return to the Montebello Islands after the atomic tests, and today he's active in the Atomic Veterans Association. My parents started with nothing and built a family business on decades of hard toil. Their values passed on to their 3 kids. Madam Deputy Speaker, I'd request an extension. Thank you.
Extension granted.
Thank you. Their values passed on to their 3 kids. My brother Regan also served in the Navy and my sister Gemma runs her own small business. My wife's parents, Terry and Diane Jones, have been there too, helping our family through defeat to triumph. I also thank my grandparents, Bill and Nally Whitby and Austin and Reen Hughes, for the values they passed on. Incidentally, my maternal grandmother, Reen Hughes, came to WA with her family as a young girl in the group settlement scheme in the 1920s. My last surviving grandparent, Nally Whitby, passed away just last year, just weeks short of her 103rd birthday, and she would have liked to have been here today. My wife, Natalie, is my equal partner in every way, except she's much better looking and much smarter than I am. Natalie has withstood the stresses, anxieties and disappointments that confront all political partners. Her insight and counsel are invaluable. I am so proud that she has her own life and successful career, as well as the formidable job of being mum to 4 school-aged children. I thank our children, Faith, Sam, Luke and Hope, for putting up with a dad running for politics for what seems most of your lives. You've grown up around branch fundraisers, letter drops, mobile offices and polling days, and I'm so proud of you all. Finally, it's been a long journey since 1972, and I still have hope. Thank you again to the people of Baldivis for your faith and trust and giving me this opportunity to serve you. If I have to explain why I'm here, it's pretty simple. It's because I believe in hope and opportunity. It's what got me here. I believe government should be about making sure that hope and opportunity exists, not just for some West Australians, but for all of us. I look forward to working with all members of this chamber. Thank you.